Typical Weirdo Charlotte here, welcome back to Pretty Scary and another one of my 31 days of Halloween. And today I'm so excited because I'm going to do a pop art zombie and I've wanted to do one for ages. I'm going to do a very glam pin-up pop art zombie because I do love my pin-up stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And as always, don't forget Edward my misshapen bear is hidden somewhere in the shot in a Halloween costume. Today he's a rather creepy character from an amazing horror film, so keep your eye out for him and comment down below if you spot him and what costume he's wearing. Keep your eye out as a clue, by the way. And as always, if you haven't yet subscribed, hit the red subscribe button below. We're getting very close to Halloween now. And yeah, there's plenty of ideas on my channel. So yeah, hit the red subscribe button and I'm going to stick on my creepy stories and make a start. So first you want to take your zombie colour of choice. I decided to go for a turquoise green. You can do whatever you like. And just paint any areas of skin that will be exposed. And then start to sketch out your zombie. I tried one, didn't like it, rubbed it out. Tried again. Didn't like it, rubbed it out. Third time lucky. Didn't like it, rubbed it out. Fourth time, yes, got it. So I was just sketching in a torn mouth. Again, you can do whatever you like with your zombie, the world is your oyster. And I was also doing one sort of skeletal eye. Just added a little bit of a second tear behind that first tear, and I also wanted to do an exposed esophagus and an exposed collarbone also, because I've got quite prominent collarbone, so I felt this would work quite well. So once you've drawn these areas in, wipe away your base colour paint from these areas. You can draw these areas in first and paint around them. I just felt it'd be easiest to do it this way, and a baby wipe gets the paint off really easily. Then I went in with some white cream paint and just highlighted. So I highlighted my cheekbones, my forehead, my nose, my chin. I would normally have used grease paint, but I've actually run out of my white grease paint. But this goth white worked reasonably well. And I also highlighted my collarbones. Right, then I went on to drawing in the lips. With any pop art look, everything is outlined in black, including all your regular features. So draw in your sort of zombie features. So you saw me drawing in my neck bones there and my collarbone, and I'm just drawing in my teeth. I'm outlining them with a very fine artist brush and some black watercolour paint. It's best to use an artist brush because they tend to come finer than even the finest makeup brush. Then taking a thicker brush, I outlined a thick area of shadow underneath my chin and also around the sides of my neck and my shoulders, and then painted in the dark areas behind the teeth. Then I blacked out my eyebrows. Just remember you're kind of a comic book character, so you need to look as if you've been drawn with a big thick Sharpie pen and some paints, so just bear that in mind. Everything's going to be thick and bold and black and different colours, and yeah, very cartoony. So I'm just painting in the pink fleshy areas around my neck bones and also around that gum line and also around my collarbone and in that eye socket too. I decided to go for a realistic shade, you don't have to. Then I started in with the shading, and first of all I started off with a dark green. What you want to do is build up your areas of shading with different gradients. So I start off with a dark green, so just start off with a darker version of whatever colour you've used as a base. Then I started going in with a smoky grey and just building the intensity of those shadows. And I also created a kind of a smoky eye too. So you'll notice I'm just going into all the areas of the face where you'd normally have shadow, around the sides of the nose, under the cheekbones, in the temples, the sort of dimply bit in the chin, between the nose to mouth lip bit, fulcrum is it called? I'm not really sure. Around the collarbones. Now you can do a pop art zombie in a very flat kind of 2D way, but I wanted to build in some shading as well to give it more of a 3D effect. But if shading isn't your forte, then please feel free to do a flat 2D pop art zombie. Right, now I'm just taking some white face paint and painting in those bones and also the teeth. And then taking a nice deep red by MAC and using that to shade in the darker areas of those fleshy tones. So you want to shade anywhere where there's a skin flap or a sort of a hollow, anywhere where shadows would be being formed. And you also want to shade in those gums in between the teeth too. And I'm also using the same shade to shade my eye socket sides to create a kind of a smoky eye look, but in the kind of the fleshy eye socket. Because you kind of want this look to look beauty but gruesome at the same time. Just deepening up those areas again with some more deep grey. So the basic premise is you go in with a darker tone of whatever colour you've got underneath. So there was the green and I use a darker green, and the pink and I use a darker red, and then you go in with a deep grey to increase that shadow, intensify the shadow. So there you can see that I'm also shading the bones to give them a kind of a rounded look, and also the teeth too. I decided to keep my teeth white. You can go in for a zombie yellowy brown if you prefer something a bit more gruesome, but I wanted this to be quite a pin-uppy look, so I wanted to keep the balance between kind of beauty and zombie. You'll also notice that around those torn areas of skin I'm doing some indentations to make it look kind of ruckled up where it's torn. And then I'm just deepening the shadows even more with my favourite deep shadow colour, which is Deep Night by Laura Mercier. You've seen me use this so many times in tutorials. It's my go-to shade for my deep shadows. And I'm using that to deepen up the smoky eye too, which I'm also winging out a little bit to make more of a pin-uppy effect. And I've also contoured the nose as well. Every time you lay down those shadows, just lay it down with a smaller brush and then blend with a big fluffy brush. Then I went in with a bright pink liquid lipstick for the lip side of my pop art zombie. Pretty. And then I just started intensifying those black lines with a black liquid eyeliner and creating some cracks kind of going down from the bottom half of that tear, just to give a little bit more interest to that area. Outlining all the features, so outlining my lips and just creating some little black creases on my lips, and then lining my eyes. I decided to do a flick on the inner and the outer corner for that real kind of feline pin-up effect. Lining the other side but minus the flicks, because that side is your fleshy eye hole. So you literally just want to outline everything, and you can also create some expression lines with some black lines too. I also painted on some eyelashes so it looks extra pretty on the pretty glam side. And any areas of shadow you'll also want to do a line of thick black as well. And then I created a few more little black tears to add a little bit more interest because I felt it was looking a little bit plain. And I also wanted to break up around the edges of that fleshy eye socket too, because it was looking a bit too smooth. And I did the same on the beauty side. I kind of did partly freckles, partly tears. And then I created a few wrinkles on the fleshy eye side too. Outlining the details on the chest in exactly the same way. The basic rule is anything that's got an edge or a shadow will have a black outline to it. If that makes sense, I hope it does, beauts. Outlining the curves and contours of my ears too, to make it look like they've been drawn. And then it's time to intensify those highlights. So I'm going in with some white water-based paint and just dabbing that on and blending it in with a sponge, whitening up the teeth, putting some highlights on the gums and on those wrinkles, and also on the lids as well, just to make the eyes really pop, and under the brow bones. Little white highlight on the lips too, and highlighting between all of those creases to make them look more rounded and domed, as if they're kind of popping up out of the skin. Highlight above and below the brow, on the end of the nose. Oh, also along the jawline, you saw me do that earlier. So you basically want to build up a kind of a muted highlight, blending with a sponge, and then do a thick kind of really heavy highlight on top, because again you want it to look cartoony. You see what I'm saying, Beauty, you see what I'm saying. Any raised areas basically will have a highlight. Then I decided to add some blood coming down from my mouth, just for, you know, good measure. It dripped down the mouth and down the neck, but clearly it wouldn't show in those black shadows, so I didn't paint it on the shadows. Then I added some blood splatters. The red looks really great against the green. And just added some highlights. Curled my lashes. Stuck on some falsies, which you'll see me doing in a moment. And just intensified any of the black lines that I felt had been a bit muted by any of the shading or highlighting I'd done. If you want your black lines to be quite crisp. And we are nearly there with our pop art zombie. Not far. Oh, there we go, mascara and lashes. Bit of black eyeliner in the waterline so you don't ruin the illusion with that pink waterline. And then I just finished off with a red wig. You can use your own hair, but it looks more cartoony if you've got a more sort of vibrant hair colour. And then I just shaded around the wig to create the same cartoony illusion. Finished pop art zombie. I hope you like it, Beauts. It took me rather longer than I thought it would, because it is the first time I've done something like this, so it's a little time consuming, but it's well worth the effort. If you are going out on Halloween, make sure you paint any exposed skin. You can see I haven't because I am running out of time today, but make sure you do. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel because there'll be lots more where this came from. If you spotted Edward, don't forget to say where he is and what he's wearing, and I shall see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you all.